And ladies and gentlemen, 2-year-old filly trotters are coming onto the track for the first race. This is the first division of the Ohio Fairs 2-year-old filly trot. $22,250. The purse. Number 1 is Teresa Lou, owned by the Gwynnie Lou Stables, trained by Travis Redden with Chip Noble. 2, Meadowland Miracle, owned by North Meadow Stable, trained by Mike Metters, Jamie Dunlap. 3 is Alvin Yoder's Rose Run Epic, Marty Woolen trains. Don McCurgan's up. Cavalier Sabre is the 4, owned by Dick and Joyce McClellan, trained by Jim Arledge Jr. with Del S. Miller. 5 is Mystic Joanne. She races for Lionel Whitaker, trained by David Morgan. She's driven by Bill Long Jr. 6 is Fred Polk's High Gear Sabra. Dave Hawk for Eric Nesselrode, the trainer. 7 is Hello Beverly, owned by Larry Cleland, trained and driven by Keith Haynes. And the 8, Toss the Dice, is owned by John Melsheimer and Bradley Stubbs, trained and driven by Dave Rankin. That's your field for the openers. 7. They're off. And Bill Long Jr. sends Mystic Joanne out for the lead. She's joined from the inside by the speedster Teresa Lou, and Teresa Lou now slides up the pylons to take command as they enter the turn. High Gear Sabra lands a seat in 3rd. 2 lengths clear of Meadowland Miracle, well placed in 4th. Then 2 lengths farther back, the Cavalier Sabra, followed by Toss the Dice, Hello Beverly, and after a miscue, the distant trailer is Rose Run Epic. Your tempo setter to head stretch is Teresa Lou. She's on the lead where she likes to be, 28-4 for the opening quarter. Teresa Lou is dictating the tempo up top by just over 1 length, but here comes Meadowland Miracle powering up on the outside, and she moves to the front as they pass under the wire for the first time. Mystic Joanne watches it from 3rd. High Gear Sabra's 4th by a length and a half. Cavalier Sabra is next, and then we get Toss the Dice, Hello Beverly, and the distant trailer remains Rose Run Epic, and it's Meadowland Miracle. She is calling the shots as they move midway around the clubhouse turn. It's Meadowland Miracle by just over 1 from the early leader, Teresa Lou, in 2nd. The half goes in 1 minute and 3/5. Mystic Joanne is looking to edge to the outside in 3rd. She's just in front of High Gear Sabra in the 4th spot. Riding the pylons in 5th, it's Cavalier Sabra. Then we come 2 lengths farther back to Toss the Dice. Much farther back to a troubled Hello Beverly, who is 10 clear of Rose Run Epic. 5/16 of a mile left to trot as they head for the far turn. Meadowland Miracle enjoying a 2-length advantage on Teresa Lou in 2nd. Mystic Joanne is committed to the overland route, first up and trying to gain ground in 3rd. High Gear Sabra is 4th, 3/4, 1:31 2. 3/16 of a mile left to travel as they head to the top of the stretch. Meadowland Miracle by just over 1. Teresa Lou has been getting the perfect trip. Mystic Joanne wants a piece of the action, followed by High Gear Sabra as they come down the stretch. Meadowland Miracle trying to last in the lead. Teresa Lou is 2nd, followed by Mystic Joanne on the outside. But Meadowland Miracle, with much in reserve, will take the first division of the Ohio Fairs 2-year-old filly trot. She beats out Teresa Lou. A lap down to her was Mystic Joanne, and then it was High Gear Sabra 4th. 2:01. Heading back to the winner's circle, it's Meadowland Miracle, her 3rd victory in 6 career starts, lowering her lifetime best mile to 2:01 flat for the North Meadow Stable of Painesville, Ohio. Trainer Mike Metters, the winning driver Jamie Dunlap. She's a 2-year-old filly by Striking Sabra from Charming Sabra by Arnie Almahurst, bred in Ohio by Marvin Gross. By 216, $40. Presenting your 2-year-old filly trotters for the 2nd division of the Ohio Fairs Trot. $22,250 the purse. Number 1 is DJ Abigail, owned by Gene McKee, trained by Jim Arledge Jr. in the bike, Del S. Miller. Number 2 is Bob Sidley's Birthday Mini, Dave Hawk for Marty Woolham. 3 is Bueno Sabra, owned by Amy Miller, trained by Gary Gilliland with Chip Noble. Scratched is the 4. The 5 is Ocala Cash, owned by Zoller, Slaughter, and Spearman, trained and driven by Tom Davis. 6 is Dean Davis's Queen of Strikes. Kurt Sugg, the trainer. Brett Miller's up. And 7 is Foxy Caller, owned by Charles Lane, trained and driven by Justin Hall. The 8 is out. Post time, 7 minutes. They're off. Going off stride was the 7, Foxy Collar. It's Bueno Sabra first away from the starting gate, but Queen of Strikes looks to take her on early, and Queen of Strikes goes on to take the lead as they enter the turn. Ocala Cash comes away in the top grouping third, a break of 5 lengths farther back to DJ Abigail, and then much farther back to the pair of breakers, Foxy Collar. And Birthday Minnie is last as Queen of Strikes sprints away by 3 in the early going. Bueno Sabra follows her from second, 2.5 back to Ocala Cash, then a 10-length break to DJ Abigail, and then the breakers, Foxy Collar and Birthday Minnie. 29 seconds flat for the opening quarter, and Queen of Strikes is all by herself. At this stage, she's in front by 3. Bueno Sabra drafts in from second, followed by Ocala Cash in third. 4 lengths back, DJ Abigail now draws 8 closer fourth. She's still better than 12 lengths off the leader, and then 4 more to Foxy Collar, who is 7 clear of Birthday Minnie. As they round the clubhouse turn, it is Queen of Strikes in total command. Queen of Strikes by 2 lengths. Bueno Sabra second, Ocala Cash, and then we get DJ Abigail, Foxy Collar, and Birthday Minnie 1 minute flat for the half. Out of the turn and down the backstretch, and it's the long shot Queen of Strikes. She has been unopposed since the get-go. Queen of Strikes by 2 lengths. Bueno Sabra is pocketed second, and Tom Davis and Ocala Cash going up first over on the rim, and now Bueno Sabra pulls the pocket on Queen of Strikes. Racing in fourth is Foxy Collar. She's got 5 to make up. DJ Abigail is a stagnant fifth, and now Bueno Sabra puts a nose in front. Queen of Strikes tries to counter from the inside, and Ocala Cash is well in range third. 3/4, 1:30 and 4/5. Midway around the far turn, it's Bueno Sabra getting the better of Queen of Strikes. Ocala Cash looks to loop up 3 wide, and then we get DJ Abigail as they come down the stretch, and Bueno Sabra takes the lead, shows the way by 2. Ocala Cash is chasing in second, followed by a laboring Queen of Strikes, but coming to the line, it's going to be Bueno Sabra in the second division of the Ohio Fair's 2-year-old filly trot, beating out Ocala Cash. DJ Abigail up third, 2:01. 20. Bueno Sabra is heading back to the winner's circle. This is her 4th victory in 6 career attempts. She's a 2-year-old striking Sabra filly from Star Anise by Sierra Cosmos. Owned by Amy Miller of Wauseon, Ohio, trained by Gary Gilliland, driven to victory by Chip Noble. Bueno Sabra was bred in Ohio by Marvin Gross. Once again in the winner's circle, helping to make the presentation to the winner of the 2nd division of the Ohio Fair's 2-year-old filly trot. It's the Ohio State Junior Fair Board. Number 1 is Robin Samantha, owned by Ambalal Patel, Jack Franklin. 2, Special Connection, owned by Dana Taylor, Chip Noble drives. 3, Caviar at Brooklyn, is owned by the Caviar Farms with Adele S. Miller. 4, Lorient Highlight is owned by Henkel Brown and the Highlight Stable. Brett Miller's up. 5, She's Elegant, owned by Ann Klotz and Janet Darr, Mark Klotz. 6, Belly Button is owned by Kathleen Borchers, Dean Collins. And the 7 is Reba M, owned by James Glass, Dave Hawk. Post time, 6 minutes. Division of the Midland Acres Pacing Series. There they go. They're off. Robin Samantha and She's Elegant, both quick to begin, and Reba M joins that pair from the outside. Special Connection in the top flight, racing in 4th position. Parked out in 5th is Caviar Brooklyn, and then we get Lori and Highlight, followed by the trailer. A Belly Button, and making a break on the turn was Reba M. That leaves it up to She's Elegant and Mark Klotz. They're in charge early on, leading the way by a length and a half. Robin Samantha follows her from the pocket second, followed by Special Connection, Caviar Brooklyn, and Lori and Highlight. 29 and 2 for the opening quarter as they move past the stands for the first time, and it's She's Elegant up top. She's Elegant is making the pace, shows it by just over 1 length from the long shot. Robin Samantha sitting the 2-hole trip. Special Connection is third. Caviar Brooklyn is 4th by a length and a half. Lorient Highlight is 5th by 2, and then it's Belly Button and much farther back to the 7, Reba M, who is back on gate as they move around the clubhouse turn. It's She's Elegant looking for that first career victory. She's on top as they hit the half in 1:02 and 1. Very soft 32-4 in the second quarter for She's Elegant, trying to go coast to coast in here. Robin Samantha's getting the golden trip in second. Two back, Special Connection is third. Caviar Brooklyn is fourth, but she's better than 7 lengths off the pace. Then too farther back to Lorianne Highlight. She's 5 in front of a tiring Belly Button. And then much farther back to Reba M. Reba M, the very distant trailer, as they head on to the far turn. She's Elegant leading the way by just over 1. From Robin Samantha second. There goes Special Connection rolling up on the outside. 3/4, 1:31-4. 3/16 of a mile left to pace as they head to the top of the stretch. She's Elegant, shaken up now by Mark Klotz, leads the way by 1. Special Connection attacks from the outside second. Robin Samantha is losing ground in third, followed by Caviar Brooklyn on the outside fourth. She's Elegant is full out, but here's Special Connection. She's got her measured. It's Special Connection drawing away. She's Elegant to go second. Caviar Brooklyn third, 2:01-1. Here comes Special Connection back to the winner's circle for the third time in her short career, 2:01-1. 2-year-old bay filly by Village Connection from Cali You Are Special by Steady Special, owned and trained by Dana Taylor, driven to victory by Chip Noble. Presenting your field of 3-year-old filly trotters for the first division of the Pride of Ohio. Exacted trifecta and pick 3 wagering. Number 1 is Bold Print, owned by McCoy, Brown, Worth, and Minor, trained and driven by Sandy Beatty. 2, Rose Run Divine is owned in partnership by William Rhodes and Roy Brown, the trainer. Brett Miller is up. Number 3, Lots to Live Up To, is owned by Beaver, and Osted, trained by Charlie Beaver. Dave Hawk is the driver. 4, Swing and a Miss is owned by John, Michael, and Lucy Catrone, conditioned by John Catrone, the driver Chip Noble. 5, Julia Dono is owned by John Hubble, trained by Robert Brown with Dan Ader. 6 is James Morrow's Tiffany Opal. Dallas Miller drives for Jim Arledge Jr. And the 7 is Such a Sensation by Baldacchino and Zappia, trained by Todd Christie, Jim Daly. 7 minutes. They go. They are off. Fast start for Lots to Live Up To. Swing and a Miss comes away to her flank in second. Bold Print isn't up close third. Rose Run Divine will tuck away in fourth, 4 lengths off the lead. Then it's a length and a half farther back to Julia Dono. Tiffany Opal has 1 horse beaten, and that is Such a Sensation as Lots to Live Up To takes charge and makes Swing and a Miss take a seat. 2 lengths further back, Bold Print is racing in third, followed next by Rose Run Divine. Then it's Julia Dono, Tiffany Opal, and Such a Sensation in straight alignment as they pass the quarter in 29 2/5. Moving in front of the grandstand for the first time. Lots to Live Up To is your tempo setter. She and Dave Hawk lead the way by 2 lengths. Swing and a Miss follows through from the inside second. Bold Print is third. Tiffany Opal starting up on the outside, and Such a Sensation grabs that cover. Rose Run Divine has been shuffled back to second last, and Julia Dono is off the pylons trailing as Lots to Live Up To is leading the way as they wheel by the half. Swing and a Miss is 2 lengths back in second, 1 minute and 1/5. Tiffany Opal continues to make steady progress on the rim from third, and Such a Sensation is following cover closely in fourth. Bold Print locked in fifth, now into fourth position. And then we get Rose Run Divine and 4 lengths back to Julia Dono. 5/16 of a mile left to travel as they head for the far turn, and they haven't touched Lots to Live Up To yet. She's in charge by 2. Swing and a Miss is a clear-cut second. Tiffany Opal is tailing off on the outside. Adele S. Miller asking her for the best. She's got 1:28-3, 28-2 on the third quarter as they move to the top of the stretch. Lots to Live Up To by 2.5 lengths. Swing and a Miss is second. Tiffany Opal continues to fade. Rose Run Divine is coming with late rally on the outside as they come down the stretch. Lots to Live Up To, full out to hold the lead, but they're coming after Swing and a Miss. Here comes Rose Run Divine from far back. Rose Run Divine gets up to win the first division of the Pride of Ohio. 3-year-old filly trot over Lots to Live Up To and Swing and a Miss, 1:58-2. 63-40. Back to the winner's circle, it's Rose Run Divine. Fifth win on the season, 158-2. Career best mile. She's a 3-year-old bay filly by Armbro Laser from Erica Lynn by Pride and Pleasure, owned by William Rhodes and trainer Roy Brown. Driven to victory by Brett Miller in the first division of the Pride of Ohio 3-year-old filly trot. In the winner's circle, helping to make the trophy presentation with the Ohio Expositions Commission, Madeline Lancione and Dorothy Jones. Ohio Fair Stakes. Exactors and Tries, one is Gov's Lady, owned by Acadia Farms and Charles Zoyne. Trained by Marty Willem, Don McCurgan. 2KF Judy's Judy is owned by Hank Kaufman, conditioned by Mike Metters, driven by Jamie Dunlap. 3, Rose Corsage is owned by Daryl Sherman, trained by Kent Sherman, Brett Miller's up. 4, B Barbie Brides is owned by Doris Griffith, trained by Gail Peterman with Ron Steck. 5 is Cherry Pie, owned by Jim Veach, trained and driven by Jay Veach. 6 is Lookout Mom, owned by Beaver Austin and Condit, trained by Charlie Beaver with Dave Hawk. 7 is Simply Striking, owned by the Towering Oaks Farm, conditioned by Scott Cox, and he drives. And the 8 is Dynamo Sabra, owned by Dean Davis and Brenda Sugg, trained by Kurt Sugg, and he drives. Post time, 7 minutes. Off stride goes the 2. KF Judy's Judy. Off stride the 6. Look out, Mom. They're off. Cherry Pie tries for the lead. There goes Gov's Lady from the inside, and Dynamo Sabra from the far outside is showing sharp early speed, and Dynamo Sabra from the outside takes the lead. Cherry Pie now gets a bit rough. Cherry Pie goes off stride. 4 lengths back, Simply Striking comes away in the third spot, gap of 2. Gov's Lady is fourth. Rose Corsage is fifth by 2 lengths. Then we get B Barbie Brides, and then much farther back to Lookout Mom, and much farther back to KF Judy's Judy. 29-3 for the opening quarter as they come by the stands for the first time, and it's Dynamo Sabra. Kurt Sugg has her on the point by 2.5. Simply Striking now draws in a closer second. Cherry Pie continues along on the outside, off stride in third. Gov's Lady is racing in fourth by 2.5. Rose Corsage is next. B Barbie Brides is looking to start up from 6th position, then 10 back to Lookout Mom, and much further back to KF Judy's Judy as they head half-mile pole bound. It's Dynamo Sabra. She's putting up the numbers. She reaches the half in 1:01 3/5. Simply Striking is sitting the pocket trip in second. 2 back Gov's Lady is third. Another 2.5 more to Rose Corsage, racing in fourth position, 6.5 lengths off the lead. She's 2 clear of B Barbie Brides, and then it's about 5 lengths back to Lookout Mom. Back trotting finally is Cherry Pie, and the distant trailer remains KF Judy's Judy. They've got 5/16 of a mile left to trot as they head on to the far turn. Dynamo Sabra continues to race unchallenged on the lead and tries to sprint away now. 1:32-2. Around the far turn, Dynamo Sabra lengthens her lead to 4 lengths. Simply Striking cannot go with her in second. Gov's Lady is guided to the outside third. She's got a lot of work to do. Then it's Rose Corsage and B Barbie Brides as they straighten out and drive for home. It's all Dynamo Sabra. She's all alone in the final 8th mile, leading by 6. Then we get Simply Striking, Gov's Lady on the outside. Late kick, B Barbie Brides with Lookout Mom. Dynamo Sabra in the 3rd division of the Ohio Fairs, 2-year-old filly trot. 3-way photo for second, a late closing Lookout Mom or Gov's Lady with Rose Corsage, 2, 3, and 3. $8-6 exacta, $50. Try 861, 347 even. Kurt Sugg's back in the winner's circle with Dynamo Sabra, the 2-year-old striking Sabra filly who trains for Dean Davis and Brenda Sugg. She's out of the BJ's Mac Tut, and another one, bred in Ohio by the Sabra Farms, Marvin Gross. First career victory for Dynamo Sabra. She scores impressively in 2, 3, and 3. Once again, the Ohio State Fair Junior Fair Board in the winner's circle helping to make the trophy presentation. Second division of the Pride of Ohio. Exactas and Tries. 1 is out. 2 is Fat Bottomed Girl, owned by Flowing Mineral Farm, trained by Ben Miller with Randy Tharps. 3, Funkadilly Illy is owned by Debbie Geiler and Sandy Beatty. Sandy Beatty trains and drives. 4 is Dr. Kate, owned by Jeff Miller's stable, and Dorothy Miller, trained by Jeff Miller. Del S. Miller in the bike. 5, Sturdy Ella is owned by Edward Vermeil with trainer-driver Jim Dalia. 6, Stars Inquire is owned by Elmer Stotch. Red Roll, trained by Red Roll with Kyle Lader. And the 7 horse, I'm Hunky Dory, is owned by Enough Said Stables. Marty Woolham trains Chip Nobles up. 7 minutes. There they go. They're off. Stars Inquire from the outside is sent gunning by Kyle Lader, and she takes the lead. Quickly joined by I'm Hunky Dory from alongside second. Dr. Kate comes away in third, gap of 2, and we get Funkadilly Illy, Fat Bottom Girl, and Sturdy Ella is last as I'm Hunky Dory works her way past Stars Inquire in the early going. Dr. Kate is an up-close third, followed too farther back by Funkadilly Illy, and then we get Fat Bottom Girl, and the trailer is Sturdy Ella. 29-3 for the opening quarter as they come by the stands for the first time, and it's I'm Hunky Dory. I'm Hunky Dory has the racetrack by just over 1, but here comes Dr. Kate with a brush from the 3-hole, and she's up to take over the lead as they approach the clubhouse turn. Stars Inquire is back to third, a 3-length separation to Funkadilly Illy. Fat Bottom Girl is coming to the outside. Sturdy Ella is last of the 6 as they move around the clubhouse turn, and Dr. Kate roars to command and opens up a 4-length advantage, 59 seconds flat. It's all Dr. Kate, and Del S has got her on top by 4 from I'm Hunky Dory, who is now off stride and getting in the way of the 6. Stars Inquire, they got hooked up. Both of them are okay, though they are far back and hooked up. 5/16 of a mile left to trot as they head for the far turn. It's Dr. K leading the way by 2 lengths, but Fat Bottom Girl is quickly cutting into that margin. Now just about a length and a quarter back in second. Funkadilly Illy has progressed into third. She'll have something to say in the final 3/16, 3/4, 1:28 and 4, midway around the far turn, and Fat Bottom Girl takes over the lead from Dr. Kate. Funkadilly Illy continues with a sustained rally on the far outside as they come down the stretch. It's Fat Bottom Girl on the inside. Funkadilly Illy takes aim from the center. Dr. Kate is back to third. Fat Bottom Girl trying to last. Funkadilly Illy on the outside is going to get up to win the second division of the Pride of Ohio. Fat Bottom Girl to go second. Dr. Kate third, 1:59. Longest shot on the board, Funkadilly Illy wins in 1:59. It's her third victory on the season for Debbie Geiler, who co-owns with trainer-driver Sandy Beatty. Funkadilly Illy is a homebred owned by Armbro Elliott from Funky DJ by Lucky Alma Hurst. Once again, Madeline Lancione and Dorothy Jones with the Ohio Expositions Commission in the winner's circle, helping to make the presentation of the winning connections. Three-two exacted 164.60. Tried 324, 485.40. The fourth division of the Ohio Fairs Trot. Exactas tries and pick threes. One is She's a Gold Digger, owned by Jack Tremonti. Conditioned by Kelly O'Donnell. He drives. 2 is BB Victory, owned by trainer Dwayne Lowe. Chip Noble is up. 3, Rose Run Exotic is owned by Sanders and Eblin. Conditioned by Mike Metters, the driver Jamie Dunlap. 4 is Chus Chudy, owned by Monroe Weaver, trained by Marty Woolham with Don McCurgan. 5, Lauren Paul Baker's Silly Illy, Dallas Miller for Jim Arledge Jr. 6, It's a Wrap is owned by Frank Dettori and Ed Mullinax, trained and driven by Mike Allen. 7, Striking Page, owned by Patricia Woolham and the Acadia Farms. Marty Woolham trains, Dave Hawk is up. And the 8 is Striking Vision, owned by Mark and Tanis Lewis, trained by Dave Bartlett, Brett Miller. 6 minutes to the 7th. They're off. Chus Chudy emerges from between horses with the early lead. joined by Silly Illy on the outside. BV Victory is up close from the inside. Striking Page left modestly, now parked out in fourth, and Rose Run Exotic will tuck away and shoot the gap from fifth. Racing in sixth position, it's She's a Gold Digger, followed by It's a Wrap. Striking Vision is last. Just Chudy leads the way to head stretch for the first time. Don McCurgan's got her on top by 2. From BV Victory in second, Silly Illy is hung out in third, and then it's Rose Run Exotic fourth. 30-2 for the opening quarter as they trot in front of the grandstand for the first time. It's Just Chudy setting the tempo. She's up top by 2. BV Victory is sitting in the garden spot second. Silly Illy is roughing it on the rim third. Rose Run Exotic is back to fourth. Striking Page is advancing early on the outside fifth and might have to go 3 wide. It's a Wrap also follows cover. Then She's a Gold Digger and 2 lengths back to the trailer. Striking Vision. They move half pole bound, and Just Chudy is on the front end, carving out the fraction. She reaches the half in a soft 103. Just Chudy by 2 lengths. BV Victory is sitting a patient pocket trip in second. Silly Illy is yet to see the rail. Now she goes off stride. 4-step 3 wide. Striking Page is coming with a strong rally. Third and just a length and a half off the lead. Rose Run Exotic is now racing in fourth position. Then it's a Wrap. She's a Gold Digger. Striking Vision is last, and it's Striking Page up to tackle Just Chudy and put her nose in front. They wheel by 3/4, 133-1, moving around the far turn, and Striking Page is getting to Just Chudy. Now takes the lead by a length and a half, but BV Victory is coming with a surge on the outside. Just Chudy is laboring in third. Rose Run Exotic is on the outside fourth. As they come down the stretch, Striking Page, his lead was short-lived. BV Victory takes it over and draws away in the final 16th. It's BV Victory. She remains undefeated, winning the 4th division of the Ohio Fairs Trot. Finishing second was Striking Page. Then it was Rose Run Exotic in 2-2-1. Back to the winner's circle, BV Victory, 5 for 5 lifetime, 2-2-1 for Dwayne Lowe, the owner, trainer. He bred this daughter of Big Victory. Out of the Hold Your Breath mare, First Breath, Chip Noble drove her to victory. Once again, in the winner's circle, making the trophy presentation of the winning connections, representatives with the Ohio State Fair Junior Fair Board. Field of 3-year-old filly trotters for the 3rd and final division of the Pride of Ohio. Exactus Tries Late Double Wagering. One is Sackcloth, owned by Moore, Easter Day, and Reed. Steve Carter trains and drives. Up ahead, the 2 Striking Memory, owned by Thomas York Jr., trained by Jim Arledge Jr. with Del S. Miller. 3, her grand finale is owned by Gary Reynolds, trained and driven by Dan Reynolds. 4 is the world record holder, Sturdy Lori. She is barred from the wagering. She's owned by Neil Bauer and Betty Bauer, trained by Brian Mackey. Brett Miller drives. 5, Mighty Matilda is owned by Dean Davis, trained and driven by Kurt Zog. 6, Candy and Chips is owned and trained by Jerry Ross Sr., Dave Hawk, and the 7 is Be Over Soon, on the White Creek Stable, trained by Charlie Beaver, Ron Steck. 8th race, 6 minutes away. And up for the 3rd and final division of the Pride of Ohio. There they go. They're off. Striking Memory heading out to take command. Candy and Chips comes away in second position. Sackcloth is third by 2. And then we get her grand finale. Sturdy Lori is next. Mighty Matilda, a bit rough-gated early on, takes a seat in front of the trailer. Be Over Soon, as Striking Memory leads the way to the top of the stretch. It's 2 lengths on Candy and Chips, who's second by 3.5. Sackcloth is third by 2, and then it's her grand finale. Sturdy Lori is pondering an early move, 27-4 for a fast opening quarter as they trot in front of the stands for the first time. Well strung out with Striking Memory up top. Striking Memory, the daughter of Striking Sabra, is 3 lengths clear of her closest pursuer, Candy and Chips. Sackcloth is 4 lengths farther back in third, and Sturdy Lori is starting to gain ground on the outside, fourth, 6 lengths off the lead. Racing in 5th position is her grand finale. Then we come 3.5 lengths farther back to Mighty Matilda. Be Over Soon is 15 lengths in arrears, 57 seconds flat. It's a strong tempo being set by Striking Memory. She is in charge by 2 lengths from Candy and Chips in the pocket second. 3 back, and Sturdy Laurie has made headway into third. Sackcloth is back to fourth. 2 more to her grand finale, followed by Mighty Matilda, and 7 lengths back to an outclass to be over soon as they head on to the far turn. It's Striking Memory by 3.5 lengths. Candy and Chips is second. Sturdy Laurie looked to take a seat there and is back outside now in third. 5 more to a laboring Sackcloth. 3/4, 125 and 3. Striking Memory is trying to take him all the way, leads the way by 5. Sturdy Laurie is full out chasing in second. Candy and Chips is third as they come inside the final 16th. It's all Striking Memory by 5 lengths. Sturdy Laurie is going to get beat. Candy and Chips is third. Striking Memory wins the third division of the Pride of Ohio. Watch the time on this one. 154 and 3, a new track record for 3-year-old trotting fillies. $2.6 exact, $8.20. Try 261, 21.40. Heading back to the winner's circle, it's Striking Memory. An impressive mile, 154 and 3/5. That is by far a track record for 3-year-old trotting fillies, and it is less than a second off the all-age track record here at Scioto Downs of 154. Striking Memory is a 3-year-old striking Sabra out of the Arnie's Exchange mare Memory Park, owned by Thomas York Jr., trained by Jim Arledge Jr. She was driven to victory by Del S. Miller, taking the third and final division of the Pride of Ohio 3-year-old filly trot. Once again, trophy being presented by representatives with the Ohio Expositions Commission. 2-year-old pacing fillies in the Midland Acres Series, Exactus Tries and Supers. One is Joyce Centerfold, owned by George Smith, Dan Noble. 2 more Jewelry Please, owned by Josephina Michael Campbell, Randy Tharps. 3 Nels Bells, owned by Joanna Beaver, Kyle Ader. 4 Sand Sugar, owned by Bill Sanders, Jamie Dunlap. 5 Anita Crombie is an release to Tom Blankenship, Dallas Miller drives. 6 Avier's Connection, owned by Ballinger, Klotz, and Dar, Dave Klotz. 7 is Bring Her On Home, owned by Lloyd Voiles with Dave Hawk, 7 minutes. The Midland Acres Series, and there they go. They are off. A trio of levers: Joyce Centerfold, Nels Bells, Sand Sugar 3 wide, More Jewelry Please is just off the pace in fourth. A gap of 3 lengths further back to Bring Her On Home, Anita Crombie, and Avier's Connection as they move around the far turn. And Joyce Centerfold leads by 3/4 of a length. Nels Bells looks to relent in second, followed by More Jewelry Please, a close-up third. A 3-length separation to Sand Sugar, then it's Bring Her On Home, and 5 lengths back to Anita Crombie and Avier's Connection. 27 and 4 for the first quarter as they come by the stands for the first time. And Nels Bells opts to press on and goes on to take the lead from Joyce Centerfold. More Jewelry Please looks at it from third, 2.5 lengths farther back, and it's a pylon ride for Sand Sugar in fourth. Bring Her On Home is racing in fifth. Avier's Connection is first up on the rim, looking to grab cover, and Anita Crombie is seventh and last as they round the clubhouse turn, and it's Nels Bells. Nels Bells is now cutting the mile. She's a length and a half clear of Joyce Centerfold. More Jewelry Please edges to the outside for Randy Tharps, 58 and 2. Tightening down in fourth position, that's Sand Sugar. Bring Her On Home has progressed into fourth now, moving with that cover. Racing in sixth, it's Avier's Connection, who is committed to an outside rally. She's got 5 to make up and is 4 clear of Anita Crombie, who's been near the back throughout. 5/16 of a mile left to pace as they head on to the far turn. Nels Bells leads the way by just over 1. Joyce Centerfold inside of More Jewelry Please, who is starting to tail off. In third position, Sand Sugar is looking for somewhere to go. Bring Her On Home is off stride. 128 flat. Moving around to the top of the stretch, it's Nels Bells starting to draw away. Nels Bells by 3. Joyce Centerfold is second. Sand Sugar shakes loose on the outside. She's rallying as they come to the final 8th mile. It's all Nels Bells by 4 lengths. Sand Sugar's full out chasing in second, followed by Joyce Centerfold, and Avier's Connection's going to get a check, but Nels Bells is going to get a win out of this one. She scores by a length and a half. Sand Sugar was second. Avier's Connection up third, 158 and 2. 2-3 in the late doubles, 640. 3 of 3 in the pick three, $11. Back in the winner's circle, it's Nels Bells. 3 wins for 4 career starts, 158 and 2 for this one. She's a 2-year-old Dragon's Lair filly from Sporting Nell by Jade Lobel, owned by Joanna Beaver, trained by Charlie Beaver, driven to victory by Kyle Ader.